Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today, and thank you for your support. Isn't it wonderful when you walk into something and you leave completely astonished, breathless? That happened with this album. This is Sing and Dance with Frank Sinatra. This is the new one-step release from Impex. I'm going to don my special gloves for this. Wait a minute, let me get them on straight. Not because I'm trying to be pretentious, because if you ever saw my first one-step review for Impex, it was for Gets Gilberto. And I had an accident with the slipcase. I was cleaning my desk before the video shoot, and I dropped some furniture oil on the beautiful pebble green canary color slipcase for Gets Gilberto, and I was so upset. Thank you to A.B. Fawn, who reached out to me and said, I'll try to source you a replacement for it, and she did, and it's great. This is the cream color linen diamond texture of the new one. I don't know if you can see the texture there. Yeah, I think so. Gold embossing, beautiful. I don't want to handle it with my bare fingers. I don't even want it near me until I get it into a sleeve. It's gorgeous though. I think I can take these off for the rest of the video. The jacket, let's talk about the jacket. The Monster Pack jacket is fabulous. High gloss, extremely strong. Look at you can see how the booklet is bound in there. Oh, wonderful. It's really a book. It's really a book. It's a book that is equal to anything you see from Taschen or something like that. Might even go beyond it. The reproduction on the front cover, flawless, absolutely flawless. Everything was looked into here. Check this out. This is the back of the jacket. And on the back of the Gets Gilberto jacket, we got a surprise as well. And this is another surprise. This is a black and white photo, but look at his tie. They've colorized the tie, which is very tasteful, and it's gold. And gold plays a big role in this package. I have to give a shout out to the art director here, Robert Sliger. Robert, this is awesome. I have experience in design and typography, and when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, this person, whoever did this, Robert, has exquisite taste and attention to detail. It feels like period specific. Look at the colorization of that photo. It's like a vintage colorization. The choice of type styles, perfect. The texture in the background of this whole booklet is wonderful. Everything. The pictures. There's Mitch. Sing along with Mitch. We'll talk about Mitch Miller in a moment. The quality of the reproduction of the photographs. Fabulous. As you can see, there's this yellow overlay throughout the book. Look at this. Do you know what that is? That's called spot varnishing. And it is a very expensive process, and it's used throughout the book. Gold spot varnishing. Look at that. Look at that reproduction. Unbelievable. The essays, the history. Charles Granata did all this work here, and it's a treasure trove of information. Obviously, I'm very impressed with the package. Yeah, I'm delighted with the package. Let's talk about the pressing and the mastering. So it was, the sources were assembled by Andreas Meyer, and some pre-editing, I guess the editing was done by him. And then Chris Bellman cut the discs. They are pressed at RTI. They are a one-step process using VR900 vinyl. The very best. And when I held these discs and I played these discs, I was like, ABFON's got to be giving them like extra money to make sure these are perfect. Because I've seen RTI VR900 discs from other companies, and they are not like this. They are not like this. Just watch my video of the MoFi Elvis in Memphis. That was a nightmare. Their pressings were horrible. Terrible. This is like the good old days. Perfect pressings, absolutely flat. The audio is completely silent except for the beautiful mono signal. Even the labels. You know, the labels on other releases, they kind of are a little bit off-center. Not on this. Not on this. Everything is looked into on this. And that's what I love about these one-steps. They are so passionate. They're so passionate about perfection. The pressings, don't even worry about it. They're beautiful. The label designs are wonderful too. I'm going to show you those in close-up. The sound. The sound is surprising. I was surprised. You know, when they announced this years ago and did the first issue of this, I really wanted one and I never got one. I applaud Impex for taking on projects like this. They did it with the Lark, which I reviewed. The Lark was a classical disc in mono, kind of gone under the radar, a major artist though, and they brought it to life in a way that just blew everybody away. And it's a risk. It's a risk to do an unknown mono recording or a little known or an overlooked mono record. And the same with this. This record was pretty much overlooked in the catalog until this restoration started happening. And this is great. It's absolutely beautiful. Audiophiles will love this. Just set your phono switch to mono or use a mono cartridge, and you're going to be treated to state-of-the-art mono sound by Columbia, 1950, and you won't believe your ears. It's amazing. Frank sounds very present and clear. The up-tempo arrangements just kind of leap out of the speakers, and you want to sing and dance with Frank Sinatra, or swing maybe. These are swinging numbers. This is a shift in style for Sinatra. Let me give you a little bit of history here. So my interest in Sinatra was always the Capitol years. I was drawn to them because I always thought that they were the best recorded, more modern, mature Frank, great, concept albums and everything, and they're wonderful. Songs for Swingin' Lovers, In the Wee Small Hours, Only the Lonely, Point of No Return, and so forth. There's so many good ones. My interest kind of dropped off after the Capitol years. In the reprise years, I don't like as much. Going backwards, I have to admit that I hadn't really listened to anything from Sinatra, sat down and listened to anything or collected the records from the earlier years. So it was with great interest that I said, I need to hear this one, which was right in the middle, the end of his teeny bopper era. He had been going through a little bit of a slump, which is hard to believe for us today. How could Frank Sinatra go through a slump? But it was happening. His movies were kind of fizzling out. He had a couple of singles that didn't go anywhere. His voice was having some issues, and the teeny boppers were moving on. He needed to do something to energize his career and give it a shot in the arm. And what happened was Mitch Miller, who we know from Sing Along with Mitch, well, he was much more than that. He was a big deal at Columbia Records, and he worked with Frank Sinatra to give him this new direction, this new sound. It's not something that was totally foreign to Sinatra. He had been with big bands in the past, but his career up until then were like mostly ballads, romantic, lush ballads, and this was bold, swinging music, and it was so great to hear Frank in this setting with state-of-the-art mono sound. I loved it. I loved the 8 tracks from the main album, and the second album is just as good. You know, so many times a bonus disc is, let's face it, a throwaway disc, leftovers. This doesn't play like that. This sounds just as good as the main album, and it's just as interesting. Very, very good. The whole package is astonishing. It really is. This is such a great release. It's going to hold a special place in my collection. I'm so grateful to have it. Thank you to A.B. Fawn for sending this. You know, when someone sends you a record, you know, some may feel like, oh, you have to say good things about it. I'm not like that. If a record doesn't meet my expectations, I will let you know. I don't have to obscure the truth here or anything like that. This is well worth the money, well worth getting. If you're at all interested in Frank Sinatra and you want a beautiful, beautiful record, this is the one to have. I am so thrilled with it. It is going right in with next to my Capitol albums, and it's inspired me to start exploring backwards in Sinatra's career. So those are my thoughts on the Impex release. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, I'm Scott for The Pressing Matters. Have a great day.
Thank you.